Sandy Baumgartner is the CEO here at the Saskatchewan Science Centre. Thank you so much for joining me today, Sandy.
My pleasure.
What was your reaction to the big win?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. It's always nice to see somebody in science be celebrated worldwide, and to have somebody as a woman to be celebrated for her work was tremendous. So it's a great win for the researchers, but also I think a step forward for women in Canada that are studying in STEM and want to become taking careers in science and technology.
How have things changed over even the last 10, 15 years for women in science?
Well, I think that there's still a long way to go, but the awareness is there. The need is understood. We still have a lot of growth to do. We certainly need to not only get young girls interested in science, but more importantly, getting them to stay in science. I think the biggest challenge right now is a lot of women may study science and then not continue in those careers. And so having mentors and having people in society, like today's announcement, shows that I can do something and make a difference in my community. And I think that's really what's underlying in terms of keeping women in science, just to see that they can make such a significant contribution. Yes, sometimes celebrating is also a good way to share with our community, and I think that it's a great inspiration for young girls in Canada.
Absolutely. And I mean, there are obstacles that women face in the field. What are some of the ones that you see as the biggest challenge for women in science?
Yeah, one of them is, as I said, is to keep them in science, but also a lot of women don't stay in science just because the community is difficult for women to grow in that field. So being persistent is certainly something. Seeing mentors and seeing women that have accomplished things in STEM is really important, and it's just having those opportunities to celebrate. Sometimes women just do, and we don't stop to reflect and say, hey, somebody did really good things. So celebrating and supporting one another is really a great way to keep women engaged in science.
It's important to keep them engaged in science, and I mean, women do offer so many benefits to the field. What are some of the ones that you see that women can really do to benefit the field?
Well, certainly having more women in STEM fields increases the talent pool. So the bigger the pool, the better off we're going to be in STEM. So having more people involved, as well as having a diversity in thinking. Women think differently. Women may bring something different to the conversation. So science is all about problem solving, being creative, and being collaborative. So having the diversity of thought in the process can do nothing more than increase the importance and the contributions that science has to our world around us.
And here at the Science Centre, you do encourage young women and young girls to explore science and kind of get to know that field. What are some of the things you've been doing lately for that?
Yeah, one of the programs that we started last year and will continue to grow is really getting young girls to work together, but also to meet other women in the fields that they want to pursue. So last year, for example, working with the engineering community, we did a program for girls to come out and discover what they could do around engineering, working with young mentors, and it was amazing because the girls are really creative. They were very collaborative, and they had a whole lot of fun meeting women that are actually studying in the field. So it's just seeing yourself in that role. So the more we can provide those opportunities, the more young girls are going to say, hey, I can pursue a career in science and technology, engineering and math, and there is a place for me in that world.